Добрый день. Продолжаем играть. Так, на чем мы остановились? Готово. О. Найти деньги. Надо заплатить этому. А может, я хату найду?
Can I help you?
Я уже не помню, что тут.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your...
После Dead Space уже забыл, про что тут.
The clowns are still hanging around. What is it now? Fuck! I knew that fucking whore couldn't be trusted.
You've hit a nerve. Titus is furious. No, more than that. The loyal Titus feels betrayed.
For the record, Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore, nor did he say anything about trusting her.
Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He raped her. He was out of his fucking mind. You have no idea.
She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience. She's shutting down, and she doesn't fucking trust you.
Yeah, she's crazy, you know. A crazy bitch. You know the type. She's fucked up.
This is a diversion. Stay on track.
Lawman, I'm at the end of my goddamn rope with you. I fucking told you.
His hands become fists.
And you went and pushed her. I am gonna fucking...
Hit you. Duck.
Titus Hardy!
Success. Titus backs off. Fists down, everybody. Goddamn, no one tells you to put your fists down.
Everett personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south, we'll all be in the shit. But you,
When she's angry, she emphasizes the S. It gives her voice a strangely hypnotic quality. Frankly, it's a bit terrifying. Someone has to rush in to break the tension. The second in command.
Look, Copper. We know that that fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape. Show it to him, T. What's the harm, right?
Here, jerkwad, listen to this shit. And then come back and tell me the soldier of the apocalypse was an innocent man.
This is their last play, this tape. Their story is in tatters, a mess. It might be nice to listen to, but at this point, you don't need to.
You don't care about evidence. The fuck are you a cop for, then?
Pigs, T. They don't care about getting the truth. They care about getting convictions. They are fucking keeping a score.
I won't be on your bulletin board. If you don't listen to the tape, we got nothing to talk about.
There's a lot of questions. If you ask them now, they'll just keep bringing up the tape. Listen to it, and they'll have nothing to...
What's on it? We call it the door gun a mega mix. You'll know why, once you listen to it.
Now that is intriguing. You had me at door gunner. A door gun is a gun mounted to the door of a transport airship. They have a habit of mowing down civilians. Farmers mostly.
You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb? You RCM aren't the only ones who know how to bug people. There's no university degree for that.
Actually, there are a few. Crypto analyst, radio officer.
Yeah, like you have one. Smart ass.
Bear.
We have machines. We're in logistics. How do you think a harbor works? It's advanced stuff.
Understood? You've listened in on their communications. How long?
Since way before their chief started taking swing lessons.
Things got nice and quiet after that.
It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop all day, writing down what they say. It gets hot as hell in there.
Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important work.
Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something. Those notes are some in-depth stuff.
I'm sure we can find a tape player.
Where can I listen to this? Why don't you try shoving it up your ass, genius?
Yeah, play it with your ass, cocksucker.
I'm sure we can find a tape player. It's not a problem.
Your room had one. Or maybe it's too broken.
Don't forget your tape, lawman. Compliments of Titus Hardy. You do that. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday. Yeah? What about it? You do that.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you...
Ладно, пойдем на улицу. Я же хотел там этого отца Куно, наркомана этого, размотать. Где он только находится там? Внизу где-то. Это... Это минута. Карту. Так, ну здесь я был. Может, он где-то здесь? Как мне туда попасть? Ясно, отсюда мы не попадем, походу. Ладно.
Snow covers the white on blue police livery of the motor carriage. Do something important? Something murder related? There's always something. This is a Caprice Kanema, the Caprice Motor Corps follow-up to their highly successful workhorse, Caprice 40, with its air-cooled, rear-mounted 12-cylinder compression ignition engine, driving the rear wheels through a 4-speed manual gearbox. The Kanema is able to reach 100 kilometers per hour in 13.5 seconds and go on to the high center of balance is offset by a large battery bank mounted at the bottom of the cabin, feeding all the auxiliary systems and making the Kanema effective. Due to a quite steep price tag, it is very unusual to see one in police livery.
You want to take a closer look? 130.
I reckon that's a 7-liter V12 there. Man, that's got to be a major advancement over the KR18GU engine.
7.2. Supercharged.
Saying these words brings him immense joy.
Yes. An extraordinary machine.
It's nice and all, but why so modest? Put some zing into it. Helium headlights would improve the range and quality of the visual field a lot. It's a bit girly right now. Fit it with some proper off-road components.
Sorry, I'm not following you.
Lingo it up.
No, that's porno tuning.
Use bigger words.
Those spinners were elegant, sleek, radiant even. What you're suggesting is porno. Porno. That's short for pornography.
The sole purpose of pornography is to stimulate one's visual sense to evoke sexual arousal. The same is true with the modifications you're proposing.
I'm sincerely relieved I don't have to try and convince you of that. Back to work?
A simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes.
From another planet. Hey there. It's the jam, my man.
The air from the east is thick with the smell of crude oils, heavy metals and other byproducts of the modern era. You can almost taste it.
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight, no explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Yeah, exactly.
It's official. He too agrees. This is the antechamber of the aft.
Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fuel.
Mazout is an antiquated term for heavy fuel oils. This man has a barely suppressed performative streak, or he just likes unusual words, or both.
Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already.
Behind the laugh, however, a touch of sorrow.
So tell me, what do you need? Nope, don't smoke. Some of the other drivers do, though. There's still a few around, waiting for the jam to disperse. Or waiting for the sweet release of death.
You really need them smokes. Need 'em. Got to get some. You sure he's not lying to you? Hey, isn't he, like, smoking right now? The smell is in the air.
Okay. But this is my last one. And it's a bad habit. You should quit before both of us have lung cancer.
Are you sure you don't already have lung cancer?
Huh? Oh. No, I ain't got any money. They don't want to pay for unfinished work. The bosses, man. Yeah, it sure ain't good for me. Or you. I'd spare a coin or two for a city cop down in his luck. If I had, say, 4 myself. It's like, whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands, no way in.
Going on strike would probably help you dodge a bullet or two.
Maybe you should. Cops don't get paid much and the hours are long. Plus, you can get shot. What?
The RCM is a self-managing organization that operates on donations. We promote our own leaders. It would be like striking against your own mother. Okay, but do continue. You were asking about the strike?
Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. Good on them, I guess. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town, too. Like a strike negotiator type. They'd know what's up. Precise demands and so on.
Ah, yes, from the Wild Pines. We'll meet her soon enough, I'm sure.
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching.
He doesn't blame them, but he's not on their side. That's for sure.
Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get paid. I have things to do and places to be. All of us do. Us lorry drivers, camionneurs, you still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high. Or laid. Not that I blame them, really. Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting.
What's better than chasing transient pleasures? The more transient, the better. When one's ended, you can get onto that. He tries his best to look nonchalant, but there's a rigidity in him, as if trying to conceal something warm and deep beneath a cool exterior. In his eyes, an unfamiliar longing. Flecks of... It's hard to say. His gaze wanders southwest, down the street that goes. The road continues for miles, flowing together with other roads, turning into causeways or bridges, ending suddenly in dead ends, or ramping up or down highways. It forms a crisscross pattern across the land. Above the Jamrock Quarter, in the form of a raised motorway, and then the never-ending sprawl of Forburg, high above buildings, new and old, the air filled with the rumble of... To the old south, to the farthest outskirts of Revachol, through the checkered fields of farmland, upstream to the river Esperance, past Montmartin. You cannot see. It's out of the city. Up ahead, the mist blocks all sight. A gale blows across your cheeks. It is cold. Before you stand...
Excuse me?
A flinch jolts his frame. The question has touched a nerve.
Man, I don't know what to say. Not much anyone can do. I miss my family. They're all I have. My wife, second kid on the way, waiting all the way in Diora. And here I am stuck in this shit, so far from home. Diora of the Seven Seas. It's on the other end of Le Caillou, pretty much, on another island called Laurentide, off mainland. We've got a little place there. Can almost hear my kid laugh when it snows. What's it like? Good. And bad. An ache that brings you joy. I think of them a lot. I dream up these silly scenarios in great detail. What about you, Cop Man? You missing someone?
Is that what it is? This feeling? No, it's scarier than that. You're pursued by a hunter, smelling of apricots and sorrow, and the past.
You lost your gun. Oh man, that's bad news. Especially here in Martinez. But, thanks for this. It's nice to talk to someone, and I know it wasn't easy to ask. I hope you find your way through your own troubles. Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that.
Time to arrest him. Relax. He's merely joking.
Ha! No, I'm joking, my man. Found runs a nice, clean business. This haul of cargo is mostly sporting goods. You know, tracksuits and that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Grad and the Occident, though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately. Not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road.
Never. They would never illegalize sport. Sport is the most wholesome thing known to man.
This rockin' beauty. Sure is. Like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery?
A motor lorry, also called a camion, on Caillou and neighboring islands. This one looks roughed up enough to be some sort of found rust bucket.
Good eye, my man. Yup, she's an old one, but reliable. Me and her spent a long time together.
There it is again, a little touch of sadness beneath his cool. He thinks he's spent too long in this lorry.
We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be happy.
There's no denying it. Your body needs to feel the touch of the man taps his fingers rhythmically.
Don't be a stranger.
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friesel. Because white antlers are one of the symbols of communism, they represent a society in a shameful way to treat a former king. Even one as because Friesel was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communal. To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. No advertisements, you notice. So who's funding this radical? After rifling the pages with your thumb the magazine is divided into several sections. International developments, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns. Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, Du cristal à la fumée. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée. Unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers, reassure only 4 issues in, and it sounds like they've already alienated. Perhaps they've overestimated the market demand. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPI. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border. Something about bear wrestling is... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bear wrestling. Flip back to that. It seems to be part of a new public fitness initiative in the People's Republic of Samara, SRV. devised and promoted by none other than President According to this extremely credulous account, Uncle Sport, as he's affectionately known to his people, has recently decreed bear wrestling the national sport. Based on the description in this article, he appears to be an extremely competent and democratically elected Sapormat Sport. Kelezinski is well into his third decade as president of the SRV. Outside Samara, he's known for three things: brutal repression of internal dissent, monumental corruption, and a near, don't forget, the moustache. Right, like all Samaran men above the age of 40, President Kelezinski wears a truly spectacular. It's quite straightforward. A standard match features one man, or in some cases woman, against one bear. 2 competitors, 1 ring, 5 According to the SRV's Ministry of Information, the program has been a tremendous success. Public support stands at 87%, and youth obesity and alcoholism rates are down. This is the SRV we're talking about. If you think those are the real numbers, there's probably a guy who wants to sell you a bridge. That's very much the idea. President Kelezinski has long maintained that a strong body is the best defense. In shape, out of shape, you've always preferred to rely on your wits.
The Samaran People's Republic? No, I should expect not. Why do you ask? You know, not too long ago, I listened to a fascinating radio program on traditional Samaran folk dances. In any event, no, I haven't seen any evidence there's a Samaran angle to this case.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must. Why they decided to title this one section in Volda? Obviously because it's cool to drop random phrases in foreign. It evokes a sense of recognition and fellowship among those privileged enough to understand. As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian. The Tip Top Tournée is an inter-Isolari racing series, mostly known for its high speeds, ludicrous sponsorship deals, and high death toll. This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility. You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few. Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of Tip Top Tournée. Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships, and then there's the practically criminal so all of it, basically. Oddly enough, this article has 2 bylines. Nasteb and Kalada Bernal. There's no way those are real names. Have you ever met anyone named Exilus? Come on, they're plain. More than that, they're likely anagrams. Under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Every pleasure, even one as elemental as the joy of racing others around. Thus, the so-called tournée becomes a competition between increasingly meaningless brand signifiers. Your discount, and that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, spectacular violence, at the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for. Sure, you think that, but subconsciously, it's the visions of brand name. This flimsy magazine is right. Deep down, you know the only true stakes are life and glory, or death by fiery. That's because you haven't been reading critically. But don't worry. The whole point of these sorts of articles is to let someone else read critically for you.
I can safely say the thought had never crossed my mind, Detective. I'm sure most things are, if the young men who wrote this article are to be believed. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I take what...
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support. You skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Capeside Apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent. The eternal problem, according to G. Martin, is that under capitalism, the worker is rendered incapable of perceiving that. Thus, they tend to experience their own oppression as though it were happening to somebody. Is that true? Have you felt estranged from your own? You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of content.
Зачем я ее прочитал только?
You stare at the great door gunner megamix. If only you. The tape feels ominous. Upon it, the dead. An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if a silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III, the Squanderer." Not a good track record of mental health in that fact. As you look up, you notice something about the statue. There are some odd indentations on the king's chest piece. Even by the standards of the Philippian kings, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate centuries. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy. During the anti-centennial revolution, an end to his family line and the monarchy on the Insulindian Isola. Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrands, he called it the Sol Aurum. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon, instead of a bed, like a normal person.
The man certainly knew how to live!
But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction. You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry, he was also a prodigious snort. Not just any nose candy though. We're talking Royal Philippian Blow, allegedly twice as potent as the stuff you find nowadays, and purple. Philippian cocaine was purple. Cocaine. His Majesty's courtiers said it helped him connect with the higher realms. That's what the revolutionaries said 150 years later, right before they emptied out the royal mausoleum and dumped his beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries. After a group of marble pleurons still surround the king's vandalized tomb, a deathly cold wind sweeps up candy wrappers an old newspaper. The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships during the turn-of-the-century revolution. Most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately saved the statue. If the communards had more time, they would have reduced it up to even finer pieces. Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler of Revachol in the poorest part of the city. The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit. People in Martinaise tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders. With more nuance, those critics might have it wrong though. There's more to it than just ironism, but you can't say what precisely. Philip III, the squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned, not that he ever did in life either. Something with great kinetic energy seems to have impacted the cuirass. Someone shot him in the heart. Interesting.
Okay, I can't see it, but I take your word for it. Well, Martinez is riddled with bullet holes. This place saw a lot of action during the revolution. But the statue is recently renovated, so maybe a joke? Target practice or a political statement? Why not? What this shows us is guns aren't too uncommon here, and people still shoot them, sometimes at kings.
The king stands high above you, surveying the bay, mute. Wow, you work hard. Oh yes, you hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there. Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way, and you won't let it break you. A little. You make money. You got gills, baby. Got those black papers with the faces of the innocents on them. You bring in the Franco-Negros and the Solas. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop and a sprinter. Sure. And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have Are you rich? That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that? The Gartman has set himself up one of those self-replicating money structures. You should learn from it. Don't play the victim. Think hustler. Think with your... That's right. 100%. Fucking G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket, stealing from you every time you... Arm tax is almost non-existent in the Gossamer state that is Revachol. Every time you wipe your ass, they got their direct and their indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax, alimony, one tax that doesn't even have a name. Plus there's the stuff people in other countries pay for. That makes them ask for more money from you. Here, total tax duties add up to 98% of all your money. Here you go, hustler. Fight the righteous fight. Free the people. Keep it real. Keep it street. Keep foaming at the... The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century, as golden as it's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter, some cigarettes and food money. Nothing. Her smile just keeps widening. Her head. No, this one is a monster in disguise.
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone. Why? I just told you why.
Забастовка.
Bastards! We have a right to work! Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down.
We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes. Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Right to work! Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence. Rights of people, rights of workers, to have gainful employment, to make a salary.
His manner of speaking is wooden, the tone of voice bland and uninspired, almost as if compiling replies from...
Maybe you should ask them the questions, like why we're not allowed to make a living here. Shame on... We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
So do we, Scott.
When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together, decide to block honest work for other people.
Beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while we have the right!
When the man moves around, you perceive some serious abs underneath his... There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of the attire seem... His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls, held up by a belt, seem to fit a man with much more corpulence. He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both fists. Silence is the answer. There's something off here, but as he does, he stomps his foot on the pavement and... Stop everything. Look at that sweet pair of boots on his feet. They would absolutely complement your soul, would let your style fly even higher. Boots, black in color, crafted of hardened leather, if you had to guess. They look sturdy and stable, useful in rugged environments. Imagine what you could do with boots like this. Not be a little fucking weakling baby, for starters. There are boots for muling, and there are boots for smashing shit. Never thought you so spineless. Where's your wrecking ball spirit? Your brutal. The physically impressive man tower has turned his attention back to the gates. He ignores your presence.
Honest men and women, with rights, to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests. We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If Union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do want work.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
Now that is interesting.
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were given a job to do!
You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's...
What's it to you? Big mess, caused by union greed. But I only fight for the rights of people.
Every once in a while, it's like you can see glimpses of another guy under the guise of this fighter for jobs. He seems a more brutal, cunning, and suspicious person. Just a hunch. Or you just might be paranoid.
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling.
A monstrous shadow high above the fire traps of the domain. The 881 motorway running over this district of Jamrock. Concrete pillars rise up from the midst of the dilapidated wooden houses. On the horizon, barely visible, the hazy life in the domain is even worse off than in Martinez. The cold air is stiff from the fumes of the motor carriage. Below, broken down, battered people mill on the dusty streets with no purpose. Yet amongst them, there is no sight of this man. Nowhere.
Yeah? What makes you say that? They know me. That's bullshit. We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates. Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guards blocking the way to... And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is. Huge Seminese guy standing up there on the overhead passage. Won't let anyone by. The access panel is right behind it. Bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically advantageous position. And he's trained. I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke. And my men are tired and hungry. They're workers, not fighters. Why don't you go arrest them instead? I'm sure they've done plenty of criminal shit. They have that look.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now, if you can't get in anyway.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then, we
charge.
Scab?
You're hazy on the notion of a scab. Smells like politics, though. Maybe it's got something to do with the flask he reaches for from time to time. What did he just call you? Oh no, not this again. You just got away from that fucking kid.
Подсрачником.
A kind of a worm, content with mere survival. They come, they want to do our job for shittier pay, screwing over both themselves and us. Everybody loses. Beats me. Somewhere in the ground, I think. Gotta be bloody stupid or freaking evil to scab. Or I guess scared, maybe. But scared of what? Of who? Personally, I'd rather beg than scab. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten something. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. These scabs ain't begging. They ain't holding on to their integrity. No, I said scab. I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, "Let us cop for less money."
Psst, show him your stolen card. Now has arrived the perfect moment.
Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the Wild North? Come to see the strife? The little boy had the good on his promise. To get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me, pardon the choice of words, not mine.
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official union probe, you know. Track it down, see who took it.
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know? So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, the cops in his pocket, and he's the king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes. I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk union man about some armor.
What else?
Not much. Technical stuff mostly. That was the interesting part. I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off.
How does it come off?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots were still on the guy last I saw. Too hard to remove. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle. More like a job for some militia. I guess you won't be collecting them all then. That's less work for you, at least. Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I do.
Nice and balanced. Some junior officers can take care of the rest.
Smart choice. It's only that one spot you need armored too. The one the bullet hits. Good luck if you go for those boots though. You'd have an easier time wresting the spurs off a boyadero than getting them off it. No problem. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Mañana. Thank him for showing me the way.
He is sincerely grateful he is not tracking down pieces of armor right now. The man looks at the colorful piece of plastic. Then,
but that's not you, officer. From back when you were not a cop, but a heavy-set, dark-skinned dock worker named Santiago Jean?
Yeah.
Highly unlikely. I've known John for several years now. Also, you told me you're a cop, remember? How did you get his shift card?
now you're in a mess. The time hath not arrived. Sorry.
Yes, the city has a way of pairing souls. John's been out drinking himself blind. He should be more careful than Johannes. Can I have the card?
No, it will prove useful still. Believe your thieving fingers.
Oh, is my friend in some sort of trouble? Who knew? You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you. You'll have to ask him first.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike. Return once you've met the union boss and are on a better footing.
Sure thing, my friend. I can help you out.
The coin lands into your hand as if it has always belonged there. The swallow returns.
Always glad to help out the RCM. Shame I can't do more. Things are meager at the moment due to... You know, the winter's fat is slowly running out and all. Still better than scabbing though. Nothing to worry about really. The jam's a bit of a mess, cargo can't get in or out. The rationing is a bit stricter is all. Supplies should last the strike though. I'm always glad to help out when possible. Not like these slithering scabs.
Ладно, надо разобраться. Это кто? Так, сохранимся.
Your body betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Это что, вокруг девиц собрал?
Your body does not betray your degeneracy. That's a lie. You're in great shape. Don't say anything. Size him up first.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology? It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Sandwich. You are not in danger because you are not a threat to me. What is this androgynous display of sexual maturity?
Things are not as bad as they look. Sure, you have high blood pressure from metabolizing heroic quantities of ethanol, but you are robust.
I can see you were once an athlete, then deteriorated in your 20s. It is typical of your haplogroup. Let's blame the failed education system and leniency towards degenerates in...
Jean-Luc, his body is betraying his degeneracy pretty hard. Maybe you can ask him to leave.
You have succumbed to Al-Ghul. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick. Yes, Al-Ghul.
He means alcohol.
Correct, my small skull servant. Al-Ghul is an ancient Ilmaran poison. A parasitic fungus that has colonized your race. It is a trick the desert pygmies played on you for humiliating them and stripping them.
Intentionally fermented drinks have existed for 10,000 years.
This is a fabrication the alchemists of Yizot and Bashir and the Rolam Al-Ghul have fed your people. Go on believing in it. Raise loot. Why don't you have another drink? Your features are not yet congenital.
Oh yeah, Measurehead.
This is going well for Measurehead.
Your mouth moves, but the one who speaks is Al-Ghul. You are but a vessel for the Ghul now. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The
Show him the ham still got it.
Еще побарахтается.
Willingly calling yourself a ham sandwich. How far the Occidental Haplogroup has fallen. You were once a noble. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Khoikos. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolous pop culture. You will be superseded
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
Yeah.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of history. Bring your troops to the Simonine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside,
You could internalize Measurehead's race theory. It would enrich you rhetorically. Well, not as such. What you do with a mastery of advanced race theory is up to you. You could reject the findings, sure, or accept them and become an advanced racist. He does not so much as glance at the...
Stop showing me your pathetic cup. I have no interest in it.
He had nothing to do with it. Does he strike you as the kind of man who puts mugs into trash?
Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs.
There must be some friction there. He's keeping it well hidden, however.
Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront international capital. Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic. Jam. Individualism. You have gotten these ideas from degenerate youth culture, have you not? You have picked them up from rock and roll songs? Rock and roll is moribund. Only Koikos listen to it anymore. There is no life left in it. My people abandoned it. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the South Island race, haplogroup A4A. We are the rightful masters of the Insulindian archipelago. We descend from the Areopagites of ancient Pericarnassus and arrived here 4,000 years ago. Millennia before you. We are the future. That is all you need to know. I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulumbuir are with me in my genetic dreams. I see young Simonese women walk into the garden. No. I have heard about...
He would be appreciative if you did not further chase this line of inquiry in front of the women.
I'm from Couronne, and no, it is not just in Revachol. The city is central to the Simony strategy, spreading through its trade net. You have heard enough about our phylogenetic secrets for today. You have extinction to come to terms with, and never getting into the harbor. I am not the first line of defense. I am the last. In addition, these so-called hardy boys are an
You pick up on something artificial in his tone, like he's putting on an act. This is unlike him. He...
Fine. They have recently fallen under the influence of a possibly... Find out for yourself. And don't...
Interesting. I don't think anything about this. We are wasting our time having this conversation.
Your pedomorphic friend is right. You should leave here with your tail between your legs. Racists are generally not very good examples of their race.
Welcome to Revachol. You hear him yell at a redhead woman visiting the fridge. He must think redheads are immigrants.
I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a free...
True, that is a noble cranium, but you got a hard noggin yourself. The drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions. One thing, however, it is not entirely free of throwbacks in the phylogenetic tree. His large jaw, for example, could be a trait indicative of criminalism. Also, his earlobes could be small.
That atavistic stigmatum makes pussy say yes, plenty.
Babe, thanks. But I got this.
You have him off guard now. He's preoccupied with this situation with his woman. The man looks at you, silent and unmoving.
You are not Santiago. Santiago is not you.
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Do you?
The lieutenant looks toward the harbor's electronic door, and then...
You are obviously a liberal, Sailorite. A polyculturalist. I can see it from your love of microtechnology and your sartorial choices. There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile races. And the vile CF race cauldron of pederasty. Which one do you need education on? Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidentals, excluding the Maun, of course. The Maun are riddled with eczema to the point a receding genetic pool has led the Maun on reprehensible street parades. In Maun cities like Stadskanal and Vredefort, wherein wouldn't you know them by the names of their nation states? The Oranese, the Gotwaldians.
Mahoon is a derogative term for first world people of Gotwaldian descent. They do not all have eczema. Also, people of Katla, like the Suru, and in some municipalities of Oranje, people do wear shoes made of wood to street parades. Green, orange, and even yellow tassels of all...
The Maun are proof that you can have too much Occidental racial purity and tassel-centric culture. Inbreeding has led to a lactose-intolerant subrace.
Colorful tassels are, let's be honest, not a good sartorial choice for this century. You might want to avoid wooden clogs too.
The Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina, the ancient Meteorans of Meteo by the golden Pisantic Sea, the Suren of Sur-la-Clé, and even the North Königsteiners, all have the other large Mondial civilization, the Mesk, are too yellow and oleaginous to count as a heroic race. True, they are violent and expansionist. Overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains, making them listen to El Mariachi music and eat toxic minced meat, as proven by the Maun and the Mask. Occidental type A is in retrograde. The Seminese and the Areopagite are on the ascent. The indigenous people of this, the Insulindian archipelago. The Seminese inhabit the southern islands. I am Seminese. The Areopagites are the master race of the Ilmaran deserts. The Seminese are descendants of the Areopagites. We came here during a...
Wait, didn't Ilmaran desert pygmies invent alcohol and get pillaged just a short while ago?
No, those were scimitar-wielding race losers of Zahrafa, Izzet, and Bashir, with their Himmi servants.
Jean, baby, you're on fire.
I know, babe. The Areopagites are sleek, long-headed. The Simonese are powerful, mesomorphic. The former is an immutable progenitor, unchanged since the Super Isola of Pericarnassus. The latter is perfected and adapting. Together they form the Simeno-Areopagite, or Simeopagite super race.
Nature was not capable of more.
Type B are the unheroic races, amorphous non-competitors of the great race. The Khoikos and the Vacholier.
The Khoikos of Grad, Yugo, Zhimsk, Shest et al. Are what you would call white, officer, in a suspect description.
Yes. To an untrained eye, the Khoiko appear white and pinkish, like a ham sandwich. But look into their eyes and you will see. They are of an indistinct color. Pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through centuries of advanced ballistic warfare and cultural domination that the Grad people have undergone for drinking Al-Rul and smoking the degenerate up. The Khoiko, the countless micronationalities of Grad, are all inexplicably obsessed with Potat. The only thing they like more is dividing into microscopic.
Wouldn't he be one for ethnostates?
They are microscopic. The Semeno-Areopagite superstate will cover the entire remaining planetary crust, uninterrupted. From Holy Semen, its leaders will be the genetic epitome of the Semenese and Areopagite stock. The Vacholians, halfway between Type A and the Racial Cauldron. Two mixed to know right from wrong. You tried your degenerate little revolution, which was the single greatest failure committed by humans in our 82...
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening, but that seems a little off.
The revolution came to Ravachol from Grad, in Zarath ridden potato carts. It is literally an illness, a prion disease that leaves the The revolution is fatal familial insomnia, a hereditary prion condition passed from the Khoiko to the Occidentals. But not sexually. Probably through trade routes and put enough of Tibet mediocrity. Tips CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments and tragic maladaptations. They are tortured creatures waiting to be put to sleep. Your morbid interest in them worry lesser races like the Mosquito, a grotesque mixture of a masked woman and a Semenese man. Only possible if the mother is Mesk and the father Seminese. The other way around, the mosquito is born sterile, like a donkey. All they have left is to ride customized motor carriages with hydraulic suspension, listening to aggressive El Mariachi music to vent their impotent despair.
It seems unlikely that two human beings produce genetically sterile offspring.
You are right. You have misunderstood.
The sage will not budge on this.
Then there is the Simino Koiki Chimera. Are you sure you wish to know of the Simino Koiki Chimera? It is not. The Koiko, as you know, are very servile, especially when they meet the rich man. Racial scientists have toyed with the idea of crossing the Simonese with the Koiko. This will never happen. The Simonese and the Koiko may have similar interbreeding problems as the mosquito. We will never know precisely. No Simonese man could...
There is a strange sadness in his tone, a less than heroic melancholy. Your eyes bounce to the young woman at his side, twirling her hair. It is light brownish and eyes are a random color.
The heart that pumps the hemoglobin is mysterious, and so is its dark will. Enough of these personal matters. Have you been educated to all the raison?
He does not seem angry, nor does the woman look affected. She just twirls her hair. Perhaps they've been through this and established an accord.
You understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? You have not even worded the mystery, let alone solved. You need to internalize what you have heard here today, then return to me. This I cannot possibly imagine. There is nothing fun. I cannot.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez. The air suddenly feels calmer, more transparent in a strangely tender way. It's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience. It is not a place. It is a moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances, in all of you incrementally. Yawn. You'd get there faster with a little. History's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world a better place. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Real, lasting tisk-tisk. Just because you live in the present doesn't mean you have the right to place your needs above the needs of the You may never live to see the Kingdom of Conscience. Your children may not. Even your grandchildren might not. But what rationality? What sang-froid? What benevolence? What a fucking joke. Do you believe the status quo is preferable to chaos and bloodshed? There you have it. Sometimes holding the line is progress. The kingdom is difficult to comprehend, and even more partly because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define and limit it today. The Kingdom of Conscience it's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post-sexual. Slow down, Mr. Reasonable. Did you miss the part about compromising and taking things slow? That's right. Remember, real democracy is just around the corner for Revachol. When that real democracy kicks in, it's clear you like the hard stuff, Bruder. Evening falls. The time has come. The vows are blood and flesh. Lower intestine. The term is metabolic and fascism, Bruder. Many things, but it's mostly about trusting your gut. Who does your gut tell you is the source of Revachol's problems? Yes, them, but all women. Women, men of war. You don't like them. They're insane. Their idiocy needs to be scrubbed off this world with rubbing alcohol. Women need to go. That's what fascism boils down to. The rest is also important. But the main thing is that women need to know stomach truth. You're having a stomach truth. Because you've said the hard things that others won't say, the good things, you've said them many times. Okay, yes, let's call it that. Good thinking.
Отличная мысль.
That sounds much better. Traditionalism. You like the sound of that. You're going to keep your views, right? Keep your views, Brota. For the nation, smart. Best not to mention the women too often. That's why you're the head and I am the stomach. Of course you are, Bruta. Of course.
Ну что, мне будет минус 1 драма? Зачем мне нужна она?
The unpromising raised pupil returns. Oh, no.
There must be some.
Mr. Clare is a man of it. Also, to serve is not, of course, you. Above all, rampant multinational finance still reigning large. Stop explaining yourself. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. What you need is to come to terms with extinction.
Как мне пройти, интересно, туда?
Hold on, Wandering Man.
Right to work! Right!
Welcome to Revachol.
This man looks like trouble. You might not want to get into this right now. Plenty of time later.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to design. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs.
The lieutenant's impassive mask has been replaced with intensity. He speaks not as a cop, but as a citizen. He is Vachol.
It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
What he means is, fixation on the Revacholian nation makes it harder for Revachol to actually attain self-determination.
Oh, come on, man. I just said welcome to Revachol. It's a lorry.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should watch myself. But you see, I'm an officer of the RCM. It's actually my job to make sure you be here.
Silence. The air between them. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
You two make a cute couple. You know that?
The lieutenant exhales and resumes. You sense slight embarrassment for the outburst. Or is it pride? Impossible to tell.
Whatever you say, officers.
He smells of heavy motor oils, and his breath of high tar content cigarette. You could ask him to show you the soles of his boots. He definitely looks like someone capable of a lynching. Maybe.
Oh man, that's great. Look at that guy go. Haven't seen anything. God damn. Thanks for that.
He doesn't live in Martinez.
It's about biological determinism, natural law, the sorting of the races. Not the most popular topic nowadays, with the coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic.
Change the topic. The way he says, not sheep, ostriches. Actually, neither ostriches or sheep bury their heads in the sand. It's just a saying.
Whatever, go back to your college class, Bino. I'm not the only one. Look, I've read books. The science of racial theory has all been proved, even if some people don't want to accept it. People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that.
If this guy's all the Occidentals have, well, let's just say he's not exactly ripped.
So, lately we Occidentals have experienced an unfortunate downturn when members of the superior race cease to believe in their innate superiority. They stop competing. The problem? The damn kips are showing a real good game lately. Same with the mosquitoes. And the other intruders species too. They're on the precipice of cultural victory.
Cultural victory? What is this then?
It's what the kips of Boogie Street are going for, right under our noses. And the others too, on the radio. Heard any chansons lately? Heard any motetos or leader? No. Dominating culture. It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Who knows what might happen if people don't stay in their birthplace? You might end up with a new sub-race, with unknown characteristics, leading to extra competition. That's why you've got to control the offspring. Go right ahead. You may be a cop, but that won't help you.
Lieutenant Kisaraga's stern expression remains unchanged. But you sense not a lot of moral fiber on this one yet, he thinks, wriggled out of it. What happened? Did your balls shrivel up? You had plenty of chances to get off this road, but no, you let this guy keep talking. Then, when the time came to make your choice, you...
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation. The strike? Oh, they've been at it for a while. A month, 2 months maybe. But this year is just the last week or so. Apples.
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if you had something.
Look, as detective, I come from a long line of lorrymen. We got ancient rights and privileges. Oh, I'm here to pick up a load of fucking apples, man. Just regular, Koiko-picked apples.
Koiko may be another derogative. For a person from Grad, you think?
Yep, it's one of their main exports. They grow them down South Yekokata. A beautiful place. Got great scenic vistas.
In fact, Yekokata is a desolate wasteland whose name literally translates to Zone of Ecological Catastrophe. It features no scenic vistas and supports virtually no plant or animal life.
Yeah? Says who? Then, I guess they grow apples somewhere else. You can never really tell with those koikos. They're everywhere, except their own homes.
He means the people living in Grad.
Yeah, you know, Gradniks, Gradvolk, those degenerates from Grad. 'Cause that's what they're all called. Koiko Pichik, Loslav Koiko, Koikovich someone. Low self-esteem, those guys have. Mind you, they look Occidental, but they're not. Hey, if the name and description fit by the very grace of nature, who am I to say otherwise? Did you miss the part where I said they aren't here yet? Besides, even if I did have some, I wouldn't go putting my nose in them, huh?
Relax. You've got all you can get here. He probably doesn't even know what he's hauling, even if it is something unsavory. So...
Oh yeah, they're a big deal. My great-grandfather was a carter, had a royal license and everything. We've tried to hold on to our privilege. Someone with a cart. What did you think it was? That's how deep into history our thing reaches, before machines. Sure fucking is. We have a guild and everything, huh? Very ancient, very prestigious. Goddamn right. They've been trying to fuck us out of our heritage in the name of profit. But when they try to... trusting street thugs with their goods is going to fuck them right up the ass. Mark my words. Generations of practice and... Been admiring the Stompers, huh? Sure thing. Check them out.
On the bottom of the man's boots, you see an intricate tangle of treads with no immediately. The wind howls over the Bay of Revachol, a cascade of cold air flowing through the city streets. Those same streets have left their share of scuff.
It's Revachol. Custom made. Cost me a pretty penny. For when the invasion comes, the last thing they'll see before the lights go out is illustrious Revachol.
It doesn't look like the lieutenant cares. He just makes a little note.
Hey man, you know, there are all sorts of invasions. I thought we could rely on the cops. We're in this together, whether you realize it or not.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
No. You need tear to use the tear machine.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The packages are small, discreet, sloppily stacked, making them easier to take unnoticed. No need to worry about knocking over a display. The girl delves into the magazine, hair covering her face, down onto one knee, pretending to do up a shoelace. Take a loose package from the bottom, slip it in the old sleeve. The girl doesn't notice.
What is what? It's a raincoat. If you want to buy one, then it's only 4 real.
The sloppy stacking makes it more difficult to discern the missing one. You will be safe. A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles. Their logo is the bloodless rose. Pure.
Just ask me if you need anything from St. Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, Magnesium, and Hypnogamma. I don't know. Let's see. Nosafed is a nasal spray. Duramine is a really good painkiller. Magnesium is a dietary... I don't really know what Hypnogamma is. I guess it makes you feel less shit. It's recommended to use after lots of partying, studying, or exercising. No, sorry. I'm not like a doctor or anything. St. Baptiste, you know, the pharmaceuticals company. St. Baptiste Pharmaceuticals, the one that sells meds out of St. Baptiste. That one.
She is right. Saint Baptiste, the company, derives its name from Saint Baptiste, the city. Itself so named because that's what it is. A rare case where that really is the full etymological history. As far as almost anyone knows, at least. A colorful display of cigarettes and alcohol bottles. The bottles wink at you in the light. The smokes too glitter in their wrapping. It's like looking there, in that dark green glass, all in vain. The great flowing river of warmth, wine,
Нет,
alcohol,
за здоровый образ
beer,
жизни.
alcohol, love, alcohol. The beauty, the truth, the poetry of it all.
I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health, but I guess you already know that.
Don't ask, don't look, don't do anything here. Just go away. Get back to work.
No, Frit only sells legal drugs, like the law says. The pale aged vodka is special, I guess. It's stored in pale for a couple of years, which makes it super expensive and, you know.
Don't worry your pretty little head about it. Let's concentrate on what's important here.
I mean, I already said it'd hurt you. I don't know what else they do. Welcome to Frit. Feel free to look around or something. Everything is out on the shelf.
What's that magazine she's reading?
I don't know. Frit? A 7 to 11 grocery store. I think they think that the extra tea makes it funkier.
The story goes that normal Fritta, with 2 T's, a men's workwear shop in Vredefort, was already taken. So when Fritta...
You mean this? This is Pop Stars. It's got, like, famous people in it.
Looks like it also has something called Police de la Mode, featured on page 34. This speaks to you. She pops her raspberry-flavored bubblegum and nods, her shoulders tense. She shuffles back only slightly. Bewilderment and repulsion root her in place. The lieutenant frowns at you before turning to the clerk with an apologetic half smile.
okay. I'm not really supposed to be chatting to anyone, but... I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's there, but I haven't seen it, so... Not really. No. I didn't know him at all. I don't know, really... long? I don't know.
No need to worry. It's just standard procedure for us to ask around. If you hear anything, let us know, okay?
Okay. Uh-huh. Reality? You mean, what reality?
She is like a student unexpectedly called upon by a teacher. Can she answer the classroom question?
I don't really know anything. I mean, I'm 15. Yeah, that's why I'm working my arse off in Frit. So I guess, like, that's economic. I don't know. What about it? We're in Frit? As mankind or as a nation?
What will her essay prompt be?
In a good place. I mean, science is doing great, and this radio computer thing seems to be kinda big. I don't know. I don't know. Look at the clock. It's right.
The clock shows the time at 10:09. The hands seem to be still.
When ordinary people take over the government and, demand. Yeah, it happened like 50 years ago or so. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. Our government? Or do you mean something
Решила ее
else?
вопросами закидать.
Sorry, I really need to finish this article. Cool.
Некогда мне чая кормить, мне нужно в магаз пойти.
There are clothes inside. Cheap second-hand clothes.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro.
Save the economy? That sounds off.
Haven't you heard, officer? We've got to be economically conscious. Recycle your cash, keep it in circulation. Don't buy new things. Buy eco.
Экономически сознательный.
Very cool. The economy thanks you, officer.
You find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird polyester blends that make your body itch and sweat in all the wrong places. The box smells like cat piss or like an old person with no.
Economical, but also trendy. Look first hand, buy second hand. Keep the economy moving.
Покупай ношеное.
Something cold grazes your hand. Synthetic and sleek. A windbreaker. Surf, it says. But this jacket is the apex of human evolution. The moment practical, and yet it may deaden your senses to the world around you.
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty. And it's only 450 for you, sir.
Бабушка нам не нужна. Где мой пистолет?
You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. The name Sileng is embroidered.
Happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool here. Everything's cool. The goods are cool. The customers are cool.
From out on the bay, a cool wind gathers. It sweeps into the city, tugging at the textiles.
You're very cool. Bang, 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 bang.
You feel a twitch in your index fingers. There's a finger shootout brewing.
Don't shoot, officer. Have we got an arrest here or just a shakedown?
Even better. It's like a shakedown, but somehow legal. This is civil asset forfeiture.
Oh, you're threatening my inviolable property rights. Good joke, officer. You're very funny. You know that?
Деньги давай.
He does not need your money. Please disregard that. We're just here to...
Of course. Fire away.
Берите его до денег. Давай.
Start with a little compliment, then work your way up from there. This is about business, remember.
Oh, okay. But why, officer? An investment? What kind of investment?
Сэр современный.
I guess it can't be any riskier than speculating in exotic derivatives. How much are we talking about here?
Давай миллион. Да.
But officer, I don't have that kind of money. There's got to... 10 real is a bargain for that kind of investment. You got it, my man. Only the coolest goods in Revachol. I've got sneakers, speakers, extremely comfy pants too. Try them on right here. No shame, only freedom. I'm an entrepreneur, officer. I've got sources, buyers, suppliers, distributors, manufacturers. Good joke, officer. Here we don't have permits, just economic freedom.
You glance around the decrepit buildings, the miserable weather, the sidewalks strewn with sunflower seeds and a dust-choked air.
It's beautiful. Beautiful freedom.
It is, yes. Anyone can set up their shop where...
That's right. No permits, no bureaucracy. That's why this city and its law officials are so cool.
If you wanted to be cynical about it, you could say we are here to protect the interests of property holders. I am not, however.
My man, officer, you make all this possible. Without you, this climate would be extremely bad for business.
Gossamer is a fine, filmy substance consisting of cobwebs spun by small spiders, seen especially in autumn. It's safe to say he's referring to the near absence of regulations.
Yeah, that's the main thing about you. Freedom is great. It's what lets independent entrepreneurs like me sell quality goods. No need for discounts at ceilings, officer. Everything's already on sale.
But did he first mark them up 100%, just so that he could put them on sale?
My man, you know how the game is played. You and me, we should work together. What do you think? Shake things up? Anything for you. You mean these delicious pre-packaged shelf-stable meal kits? Really easy to cook, no hassle, really cheap.
No hassle. There's a little of a hassle here, it appears. A moral hassle.
It is! Practically free. Yours for 5 cents a piece. Rock that tuna. Why not some macaroni too? No problem here, officer. I get all this from one of my suppliers. An extremely reputable guy.
Wait. Humanix. Humanitarian aid.
What?
A convincing performance. Bravo.
Look, officer. I'm just a retailer. You'd have to talk to my supplier if you got...
Interesting.
We'll need more if we're going to pin this one down, he thinks. Good questions, though. It's for show, my liege. He knows you need more than this to bust this guy. Later, perhaps.
Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now.
This man probably comes from Seaguy, sometimes known as the Apricot Suzerainty, an archipelago in the Samaran Isola. Apricot Suzerainty calls to mind an era when the Seaguy archipelago was colonized by Revachol. It's a bit of a slur, in other words.
That's right, officer. But it's a bad scene for business there. Too many regulations. Extremely bad for an independent local entrepreneur. Hey, why not support this local entrepreneur? You can start by buying a pair of sexy pants or cool sunglasses. Maybe some
You see two lowly, defeated speakers, thralls, slaves basically, perched atop them like conquerors.
I can see you've a taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eyes off those sneakers?
A pair of Faun Ultras. The design is impossibly sleek and simple. Dedicated, victorious, sporty. These Faun sneakers.
Those sneakers, mister. Those sneakers are the latest Faun sneakers. Super Air, super fine.
Only? That's madness. Faun Ultra. We're the future. You remember the slogan from some magazine. These once respectable speakers have been conquered, reduced to a small heat emboss on the veneer reads, Solidarity Aid from the People's Republic of Samara.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The sneakers are the stars here. These, officer? These speakers are Samaran garbage. I'm ashamed to even use them for props.
Samaran trash? That sounds like they're from the Samaran People's Republic, produced under the dictatorship of the proletariat.
No way, officer! These aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Low-fi socialist junk. Well, if you want them, but see, they are the pedestal for my sneakers. If I let go of the speakers, where will the sneakers go? If, on the other hand, you wanted to buy the sneakers too, I could maybe throw in the speaker.
Damn, so you have to buy the sneakers first. There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in a small box.
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
Abort. These are hideous. What's more, they don't even fit your face.
Damn, officer! You look like a mega secret spy. Very secret. They're practically made for you. I'll let you have them for...
They're perfect for concealing your bloodshot and baggy eyes. It's going to be very difficult for anyone to take you seriously with these things on your...
No, you are definitely not buying those.
Are you sure? But they look so good on you. You should think this through, officer.
Красные очки.
These are all boring. Boring third-rate ho-hum sunglasses. Those UV stickers are almost certainly just there for the show. If anything, these lenses probably direct more UV light into your pupils. A UV magnifier.
These are all first-rate sunglasses. Premium design, super material, very cool. UV resistant. These will definitely keep your eyes safe and cool while doing your... Oh, very interesting choice, officer. Very high culture.
This is how a sea monster sees the world. You've become a sea monster. Giant, hidden, and strangely tender at heart. All is blue. Alright, but these actually make your vision worse. It's like literally being underwater. Yes, but they also make your soul quiver like jello.
Wow, officer! You look so cool! And they can be yours for a mere 3 real. My regular customers have passed them all up because they've got no taste. But you found them.
The lieutenant tilts his head and steps back, eyes narrowed in a thorough...
You look like a musician. Like a blind musician. But you could do worse. Take them if you want.
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires dangle from the now vacant. This panel usually closes the water lock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But you pull the lever all the way up until the metal clicks against the contact. Nothing happens. The spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to close the water lock to get... Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday morning?
Evening, officers.
A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed on a man's... His posture is relaxed. Despite his powerful build and the knife in his hand, this man resorts to physical intimidation only in...
My friend Barry the Butcher is stuck on the other side of the waterlock. I'm keeping him company and eating his salami.
From the corner of your eye, you see a man in a yellow shirt and grey overalls waving at you from across the canal. He seems disappointed about the wreckage on the waterlock and the salami.
Very good stuff. Anything I can do for you, officer? I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil drive.
The words, daredevil driver.
Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here. Especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then. It's supposed to operate the water lock, but as noted, it's all junk right now. Disabled because of the blockage. Safety measure. Turns out the panel needs a special key to be reactivated. Wouldn't want anyone moving the water lock with debris still in the channel. It'll be restarted on Wednesday morning. You want to do the honors when the time comes? Great! Just drop in on Wednesday if you want to see the water lock at work. They say the canal crew will be here at 7:15. Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Not much use to the congregation. Yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruins. Sure thing.
It is salty. It is savory. It is chewy. The hangover only...
Want some too, officer?
Why not?
Тут ломбард.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. Try to find something pretty and cool here, then use it to win her back. Yes, buy something nice. This sounds off. You shouldn't trust this guy. Big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and carrying flintlocks, the kind that would mow down.
I used to be very serious about my Franco-Nigerian night.
A long, long time ago. They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed.
Which ones? Ah, those. Yes, they are. I find the paint job a bit gaudy, but children like the bright colours and description.
This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels.
You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? Yes, they are. I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win. Maybe.
He seems to have his own take on the conflict played out in perpetuity by these toys. Might be interesting to find out what it is. Why? What's this? A headless man riding a horse? A headless man wearing futuristic tracksuit trousers?
Oh, that's the Headless Phone Rider. The Headless Phone Rider. It's an urban legend. About a man who rides the streets of Revesh. 50 cents. Bargain price. I'll throw in the tiny cap too. I think he's looking for it, or something. That...
He lost his cap when he lost his head. Perhaps he's looking for the head.
Did I mention that this figurine is supposed to be lucky? Always?
That was a very smooth salesman's grin that almost comes off as earnest. Wow, a very large red t-shirt with an impressive print. Oh yeah, the print depicts a muscled man striding toward you, a giant sword in each hand, encircled by burning embers. Behind him is a cluster of cabins. The antlers on the hood of the man's cloak and his piercing blue eyes are familiar. Smells like worn cotton and a little old sweat there. Worn cotton with a side of flea market or trash bin.
Sniffing is okay, but please don't try anything on. Can't have you leaving.
You're not imagining it. Photon emissions? What?
It's the man from Hendal.
Walking away from his burning village, yes.
Their matter-of-fact tone belies their surprise at the fact that you didn't recognize the figure in the print. Lie, sire, for no reason.
The man from Yelmdal is the hero of a series of popular books based on a fictional version of Kotla, mostly what is nowadays Arda NFD. In fact, most people don't think that man from Yelmdal ever really existed, but they are wrong.
Hendal isn't a real place.
Neither is the man a real man, of course. But both the man and Hjelmdal are an ontological necessity. But hey, it's not worth getting...
Wow, what?
I mean, even if the man from Hjelmdal didn't exist before the adventure novels, the stories have made it so...
Okay.
You sound skeptical. It's not that complicated. All that's required is a... Besides, I've been to Kotla, though not quite as far north as the Hjelmdal, and watched northern lights travel across the sky.
It's for the best, because Hjelmdal is not a real place, and his theory isn't exactly incoherent, but its logic does very, very unique energies indeed. Stop talking about this nerd stuff. It will make you weedy. Buy the damn...
2 real.
That's dirt cheap.
But why? I suppose that makes sense, yes. Please go ahead.
Есть футболка. Авторитетный 0-2. Ну это плохо.
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assault. Streetlights like this one were part of a renovation effort a few decades back. Sadly, the effort was abandoned before it was completed. The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard. This would make quite a statement in your living room.
Yes, officer. As you...
His manner is casual, but his speech is careful, measured. He wants you to know that he has...
It was brought to me to be altered.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
700 real. A bargain.
A bargain? No, it's not. He's trying to sweet-talk you into buying...
The light has undergone 3 transformations, and every transformation, large or small, has a price tag.
The light has been removed and rewired. That's 2 transformations. But what about the...
The most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary, indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its morphological field. The light became suitable for use inside the home just a few days ago.
Okay, that checks out. The boomboxes on the shelf look well-loved and well-traveled. Chipped, dented, they stare. One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. This is you. Golden orange. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
Is the Harman Welshie W2, made in Vespa, designed in Seoul, plays all reel-to-reel formats, 2mm, 8mm, absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found sounds and music from a variety of genres.
That's odd. Why doesn't he like music?
The stuff I record myself, silverware shaking in drawers as motor cars race by, nocturnal animals.
Maybe you should ditch music as well. Get into these more experimental sounds he's describing.
Sorry man, I can't be giving out freebies. Never have, won't now. A discount? I do have to keep the lights on, man.
A man like that in a neighborhood like this, in a rickety house falling into the sea, there's fear in him. Careful, you can only do this once.
Sounds like a rip-off, but okay. I can make it 10, but no lower. And here you are. Quality sound reproduction on the go. It'll play anything, wherever, turn. It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop. What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
I haven't had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about it.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a... As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from. It keeps me entertained.
He's well composed, but underneath it you sense psychedelic processes. Entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what? Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward? Lucky bastard. He's probably on a drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
I try to keep the shop at a comfortable temperature.
There's a note of indignation in his voice. Those triangle patches on his vest, you have a feeling they mean something, like they're similar to the halogen rectangle on your jacket.
I was with the emergency relief brigade. You know, after the People's Pile disaster, had to take Perolidon for radiation sickness. That's what you were hinting at just now.
He's taking it for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities. It malfunctioned.
The People's Pile was a Type U particle decay generator that failed immediately after entering service, releasing radioactive waste into River Esperance, a primitive nuclear reactor, also called a pile. Construction began during the commune of Revachol. The people continued work on it after. Needless to say, things didn't work out. An emergency valve defect resulted in steam pressure blowing the turbine, taking the fuel containment vessel up in the explosion. Both the faulty design and lack of...
We were an all-volunteer force, self-organized, tried to help the fire brigades contain...
On the patch, gamma radiation lines crossed with a red drop of blood. Tough son of a gun, this one. Respect.
I lived by the river since I was a small boy. The Esperance didn't have the... There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. We wasted years in the river mud. Years getting sick. There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened, and why no one has tried to repair or replace the pile. So much disappointment, and early deaths, cancer mostly. And we knew all that was coming even as we were cleaning up. No one's. Everyone's.
So much bitterness.
A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor, hoping for the best. The cleanup happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, my second aunt died, so I came to Martinez. People told me don't go there, it's a shithole. I said, people, we just had a nuclear pile meltdown. I'm gonna get as far away from Forburg as I can. Still in the same city. I like the theory more than the story. Outward move.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
Have you tried it before?
It's almost like he's worried for you. The lieutenant steps away, pretending to admire some of the knickknacks on display. Go ahead then, he thinks. As long as you can walk straight, I don't care. He won't be your nog, but he won't be thrilled about this either.
Here you go, man.
Yes, darling. That's the coalition government ordained Parolidon. Straight into your... Not so sure about this.
Of course. Of course. It's in working order still, isn't it? Just pick your tape and set it spinning. I doubt it, but I can try and answer any question. I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery.
He doesn't know anything. No one likes to see what you have to see every day.
Can't say I'm a huge admirer of wild pines, and I can't say I trust any silver-tongued spokesperson of theirs. Fortunately, I have no reason to get involved. No, just people like that make everyone else see the world somewhat askew, at an angle that is convenient for them. Now, he's been by the shop a couple of times.
There was something awfully deliberate about that laziness.
They weren't the most pleasant interactions. Small-town bigwigs always want everyone to play a part in the... But I bowed out at some point. I prefer to watch from afar while the bigwigs come and go.
For a moment, his jaw tenses up, and his gaze is sharp and clear. There's more to his animosity toward the Union boss.
Tiffin Holly, the previous head of the Union, was rather more pleasant. Some of us around here, well, we've never understood why she didn't run for a second term, or where she went after withdrawing from politics. He tried, wanted to come to some mutually beneficial agreement around my dealings with the dock work.
So you don't know what kind of arrangements he was talking about?
As I said, I refused to talk to him. That's why he came back a second time. That's also why he purchased a remarkably garish paperweight the first time he was here. Nothing that...
He nods reluctantly. The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned.
What? Sold? This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. Oh God. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another. Alert. With Kim here too. That just sounded really, really bad.
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revish, and I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon.
He's not telling you the whole story. It seems he's trying to spare you.
You weren't quiet yourself, officer. You were very distraught. You said the gun was a threat to your life and that you can't trust yourself with it tonight. And that you need them. When I said that I don't normally buy firearms, you put the gun barrel in your mouth and sort of sucked on it.
You sucked on a gun? Good. Very normal. Very normal behavior. You must have been in great shape.
15 real.
The lieutenant looks from you to Roy, and then back to you. It's clear that he hopes this tableau. This has got to be the most. Wow. There's pity there too, in case you didn't notice. The light swirls in his face and glasses. He doesn't know what to say either.
She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit. Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm issued by the citizens' militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez?
Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside.
You're right that she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find her.
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you luck upon her somehow.
Of course. Let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling? I'm not purchasing any more clothing at the moment, and especially that tie. It swallows photons around it. I have no need for necrotic objects.
Your mother is a necrotic object! I'm fun! Look at me sparkle in the light of the projector!
Oh, no. I don't like those kinds of objects. No sale. Photic paths, counter-radiance networks, Anti-magnetism. It's darkness. That's all I know.
You have absolutely no idea what aphotic baths are. But
another time, perhaps. Sure thing. Sure, man.
Ну что ж, вот мы продали, день заработали денег, узнали, где пистолет. Думаю, на сегодня хватит. Завтра продолжим. Всем пока.